Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Drydek, and on this channel I do videos about different Diablo 1, Diablo 2, and World of Warcraft mods. If you'd like to see more of them, consider subscribing as there will be many more to come. In today's video, I will be going over my newest tank spec that I am quickly falling in love with. I'll break this video down into smaller sections. Timestamps can be found down in the description if you want to skip ahead or reference parts of this video later. My Discord channel and Twitch can be found down there as well if you have any questions about this or any other videos. Let's go ahead and jump in game. I will see you there and in the next video. Let's go. Let's go ahead and go over the gear that I'm currently using as a frame of reference. Eternium Greathelm, Barbed Choker of Discipline, War Chief's Mantle, Farstrider Defender's Cloak, Pan Zathar Breastplate, Vambracers of Courage, the Sun Eater, Crest of the Shatar, Veteran's Musket, Dauntless Handguards, Crimson Girdle of the Indomitable, Time Warding's Leggings, Eagle Crest War Boots, Signet of the Great Protector, Protector's Mark of the Redemption, Nomergon Auto Blocker 600, and the Time Lapse Shard. My current defenses without buffs are 21.64% chance to dodge, 24.70% chance to parry, and 30.75% chance to block with around 15,200 HP. Full raid buffs, I'm hovering around 18.1, that includes flask and food buff, and going forward as I get more gear, I'm looking to keep my block chance to at least 30% while increasing dodge and parry and armor as much as I can. The two utility enchants that I use on my gear instead of just more defensive stance is the hit rating enchant on gloves and the defense rating on bracers. This gets me just above the hit cap rating with my REs and the Journey racial in the raid, and with the defense buff on the bracers brings me up to exactly the defense cap to not be crit during raids. As you improve your gear and things get better, you can look to replace these two enchants for a little bit more survivability if you need to. The most important part of this build is the random enchants, so let's go ahead and go over that before moving into the talents and skills. The cornerstone of this build is the new legendary RE Crimson Champion. Your Holy Shield ability is transformed into Holy Shield Crimson Champion, which permanently increases your chance to block by 10% and deals holy damage when blocking an attack. This damage can only occur once per second, and instead of consuming a charge of the buff, it instead grants one. 3 charges are consumed to empower your next ability. Shield Slam deals holy damage to all nearby enemies. Avenger Shield increases your block value by 15% and threat by 10% for 10 seconds. Power Word Shield reduces all damage taken by 50% for 2 seconds. We look to take advantage of all the bonuses given by this RE, the static 10% block chance, the block rating and threat buff from Avenger Shield, the AoE holy damage added to her Shield Slam, and using Power Word Shield for a clutch mitigation cooldown. This RE is absolutely amazing, one of the best for tanking if you ask me. Losing the block chance from normal Holy Shield does kind of suck, but everything else this thing adds is absolutely god tier. The other REs chosen for this build is used to support this new legendary as best as I can. The 3 epic REs I use are Shield of Wrath, Jab Crossed, and Taste of Success. Shield of Wrath is to reduce the cooldown of Avenger Shield, Jab Cross for a little bit more single target threat, and Taste of Success for an on-demand physical hit mitigation after using your Victory Rush. The blue REs that I use are 3 into Critical Block, 3 into Redoubt, 1 into Precision, and 3 into Shield Mastery. This not only increases the threat generated by your Shield Slam, but reduces the cooldown of Shield Block by 2 seconds. The last RE we use is the green one, Hasty Shield Block, to again reduce the cooldown of our Shield Block as much as we can. The next part of this build is the talents, so let's go ahead and start going right to left, starting with Warrior. 3 points into Shield Specialization, 5 points into Adaptive Defense, 2 points into Shield Mastery, 1 point into Last Stand, 5 points into One-Handed Weapon Specialization, 1 point into Vigilance, 2 points into Improved Defensive Stance, 1 point into Devastate, 3 points into Critical Block. The spells we pick up are Taunt, Defensive Stance, Shield Block, Shield Wall, and Shield Slam. Over in the Fury, we take 3 points into Improved Victory Rush, we pick up Victory Rush, and Challenging Shout here as well. Over in the Arms Tree, we pick up Charge and Heroic Strike. Over in Shaman, the only thing we grab is Wind Fury weapon, just for a little bit more single target threat generation. And over here in the Rogue, we take 3 points into deflection and 1 point into riposte. Over in the Subtlety tree, we pick up Ghostly Strike to go well with our riposte we picked up in combat. Over in Priest, we pick up Power Word Shield, and in the Shadow tree, we pick up Dispersion for a nice on-demand cooldown. Over in Paladin, in the Holy tree, we pick up Consecration and Holy Wrath for the AoE threat. Over into Protection tree, we grab Righteous Fury, Divine Protection. We put 3 points into Divine Strength. This helps cap out our hit rating. 5 points into Toughness, 3 points into Improved Righteous Fury, 1 point into Blessing of Sanctuary, 5 points into Reckoning, 3 points into Ardent Defender, 1 point into Holy Shield. This is mandatory for the build to work. 1 point into Spiritual Attunement, 3 points into Redoubt, and 1 point into Avenger's Shield. Over in Retribution, we grab Deflection for the increased parry chance and the additional holy damage on parry to our attacker. This helps generate some threat for single target and AoE as well. Over in Mage, we grab Molten Armor to help reduce the crit chance we take by 1. This will help cap out your defense rating so you don't get crit enraged, and the little bit of fire damage helps with some threat as well. And the last thing we pick up is Aspect of the Monkey over here in Hunter, just for a little bit extra dodge chance. If you're looking for a little bit more AoE-centric tanking, you can very easily replace Devastate here in the Warrior tree and put it over here into Hammer of the Reich. It's a 1 point for 1 point, and you can look to replace Taste of Success and Jab Cross with the Pious Strikes and the Holy Retribution RE. I'll go ahead and show you that really quick. Pious Strikes will trigger a Holy Nova-like effect on all targets. You have to learn Holy Nova, so you might have to drop Power Word Shield for that. And Holy Retribution will then make that Holy Nova deal damage. It now also generates threat. This will help a little bit more for AoE tanking if you want to do some heroics. And if it suits you better in raids, go ahead and keep it. It is definitely not a bad choice. Before closing out this video, I do want to go over a couple of the interactions that we have in this build to kind of explain why and how I came up with the build that I did. So the only macro that I use right now is my shield block macro. I have hashtag show tooltip Avengers Shield just so you can see it because it's the highest cooldown we have. /cast shield block /cast Avenger Shield /use Nomergon auto blocker 600. The reason I have all these macroed together is because on demand, if I have the Crimson Champion stacks to use it, I can use all of these as a pseudo cooldown to get a massive buff to block chance and block damage. With all these up, I have a 50% chance to block, and I can block about 1900 damage total, so that's a really good on-demand cooldown. Even though Nomergon Auto Blocker has a 2-minute cooldown, the downtime between the Avenger's Shield cooldown and the shield block is only about 10 seconds. That's why we choose the REs that we do and the talents to try to get as much uptime on these two as possible to help smooth out the damage you take as a tank. The Riposte Ghostly Strike combination usually is reserved for two-handed parry tanks, but I figured if I can incorporate them into a sword and board tank, it would help smooth out the incoming damage even more so. The Riposte not only reduces their melee attack speed by 20%, because of the way we have our talent tree built, the Riposte every time I use it reduces the cooldown of Ghostly Strike by 3 seconds, and during a boss fight, usually the downtime between the buff, the 10% dodge granted by Ghostly Strike, is anywhere from 8 to 10 seconds, so you can reliably keep this up fairly often during the boss fight and help smooth out the damage even more. The last combination we have here for a tank is the Victory Rush Taste of Success combo. This reduces your physical damage taken by 60% for the next hit, which is really good for boss tanking, considering that's going to be the only thing hitting you. And if you have enough charges for the Crimson Champion portion of Power Word Shield, reduces all damage taken by 50% for 2 seconds. These work really well in conjunction as a mini cooldown if you want. The debuff for the Power Word Shield is only 16 seconds, so you can use Victory Rush and this together fairly reliable for a pseudo cooldown, but these also combine very well with your hard cooldowns such as Last Stand, Shield Wall, and Dispersion. Combining all these factors together not only gives you a very, very resilient tank, it gives you a very active playstyle between your Devastate, Shield Slam, Avenger's Shield, Riposte, Ghostly Strike, Victory Rush, Power Shield, Holy Wrath, Consecration, Taunts, Charges. It's going to get crazy. You're going to have a lot of buttons to press, and during a fight, you should never get bored. It's been a blast playing this, and I can tell you from personal experience, tanking raids and stuff, it is an absolute brick wall of mitigation, and I really want you guys to try it out and tell me what you think about it. If you have made it this far, I want to personally thank you. I greatly appreciate it. If you liked what I did here in this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and comment down below what your favorite part of the build is. I will see you in the next video. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.